Hey everybody, and welcome to the show. We are back, and it seems to be a glasses off tonight.
Fernando's already laughing. Here we go.
Well, we're going to fill everybody in what was just happening. We were all looking around our room. We could all hear a cricket, and it turns out it's in Jeremy's room, and it's coming through our headphones. So we all thought it was us, and it's not, because when Jeremy clapped, it's
my friend Dave. Dave.
So I start again. We'll have to get Jeremy to clap.
I mean, he didn't just clap; he stomped, and it just shut up. It was like, all right, we get the picture, we get it.
So how is everybody tonight? All good, I hope.
Doing all right.
Pretty good.
Fernando looked like he just woke up. But...
Nah, I mean, technically speaking, I just did. After spending, a half hour with you guys, seeing Australian foods and such, it was a really wide awakening moment.
Yeah, for anybody out there who doesn't know, we actually just put a video on of American people trying Vegemite just to see Fernando would
react. 30 looks, man, sorry.
Oh, man. Yeah, I'm going to have to try that. Very, very...
But anyway, the reason we are here tonight, we are here obviously with a lot of politics and weird things going on in the world. We thought we would discuss who are the real people behind it. Or are they really people?
The Anunnaki.
Possibly. When you start looking into the Dark Overlords, lots of weird things start coming up, and you've got to be very careful what you Google search these days.
Mm-hmm.
Case in point, my stepdaughter liked a certain song called, I think it's called Super Deep Black Hole or something like that.
No.
And you see what comes up when you Google search that bugger.
Super Deep Black Holes.
I'm good.
Hey, I'll tell you, hang on.
Share your screen.
But yeah, where we're going with that. Oh, so we better wait.
It just comes up with cosmic engines that contains millions and billions times the mass of our sun.
Oh, well, that's what she was obviously searching on a different search engine then. But
well, you have to ask her what her search history is.
Yeah, no, I'm not going there. Anyway, let's change the subject now. I might cut
Let's get back on topic.
Hey guys, welcome to this show.
No.
But yeah, who is actually pulling the strings? Now, we've all heard of the New World Order and
puppeteers.
Powers that be and the secret hidden governments and things like that. Who are they? The common consensus is it's all the major rich banking families of the world that we all know. There are a few others out there that's saying they're not even human at all. We are being controlled from outwards, outside. I don't know how much...
This ties in with our subliminal messaging.
Yes. Yeah, well, in fact, this ties in with several of the shows that we've done in the past, but that cricket's back.
Look, you're going to have to leave Dave alone. Hang on, Dave, keep it down, mate. No, he's busy having a party at the moment.
Shit, man.
What? What's so funny, Fernando?
The way you did that, it was priceless.
Like, come on now. No, he's having a rager. Sorry, guys, you have to deal with it for a bit.
He's on a bender at the moment, so we're not going to do much there, but we might as well get on with the show anyway, because we are 4 minutes in, or 2 minutes if we do the edit.
No, Dave's staying in there.
Yeah, when we were talking about it before we started recording the show, Fernando brought up the reptilians, didn't you?
Now, yeah. I mean, doing a Google search.
Question then was, are they aliens? Because he's sort of like, well, what if they're not? And what if they're from within? Brings about a whole other... Oh, he's gone far, boys. Brings about a whole other question. So what did you read up with the reptilian stuff?
No. It's basically what the name implies. It's reptile humanoids. So, yeah. Because when people think of aliens, they usually think of, outer space, and it was just more recently that people started talking about, that what if they're not from outer space, they're actually from within, underwaters. So, it just brings into the whole aspect of Namor.
What? Is he Wes Anderson?
Namor. You know how Disney is trying to diversify every freaking superhero out there. So there's a superhero. His actual name, or from what I understand, is pronounced Namor.
No, you're not talking about Captain Nemo, are you?
Captain Nemo? No, man. I'm talking about Marvel.
Well, Marvel seems to take everybody on.
See, when you look into the reptilian humanoids, that's South Asian and Southeast Asian mythology, and they call it the Naga, which are semi-divine creatures, which are half human, half snake. They're anthropomorphic reptiles.
Anamorphic, yeah.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, Anadaga.
Are you gonna say that again?
Anadaga.
Yep.
Okay. I mean, in Spanish, anarga means an ass.
It's Naga. Naga.
Naga. Okay.
Like MAGA, but not MAGA.
Proceed.
See, when it comes to like who runs the world, then it comes down to the main question of what do you mean by runs the world? Is it the people that run the world bank that control that aspect? Is it like who's their overseers? Like, is it the secret societies all together in one? And then there's a ladder, or is it just Scientologists?
They're a whole completely separate subspecies. They are. No, what I'm talking
like,
about
does it come down to like the Rothschilds and all the rest of them?
Well, that it does come into it, yeah. But you think about it, right? They reckon that we're an introduced species to this planet, and the Dark Overlords, I guess, where I'm going with it, is sort of saying these are the people that seeded us on the planet as an experiment. And they reckon, if you go back to that Bell interview with John Lear, that we've actually been externally corrected so many times. And that ties into several other major theories that are actually starting to gain a little bit of momentum around the world about us being controlled. And like the talk about the Greys, when the Greys come visiting, are they just doing analytics and things like that to see where we're at? And what's the end point? That's where I'm sort of going with this whole thing is they, whoever is controlling the world finances and things like that at the moment are basically running the world. I mean, we talk about the Trump, Putins, the Xi Jinpings and everybody else in the world who are the heads of government and things like that. But do they really have the power? Because they're often kept in the dark about more serious matters that are a more permanent matter opposed to the temporary job of the President of the United States, because you can only serve up to 8 years and things like that. So there's going to be secrets that they're not going to be privy to just because of the fact they're not going to be in the job forever, and they're going to be worried about it, all these different people finding out, and are they going to spread the word and things like that. And if we are talking alien or out of this world or out of this dimension, what is the outcome? What is the end goal? What are they hoping to do? Because you think about it, if we are an experiment, every experiment has an ending. So what does that look like?
I mean, if we are an experiment as far as humans are concerned, it actually depends on from what aspect you want to think about this. Because in a religious aspects, are we just a game to a god, and he's just an open world kind of, let's see what they do now, let's see, but okay, I'm done playing, click, and we all cease to exist. Do you think if a meteor hits the planet, it's actually a huge ass finger just pressing the power button?
Well, I've always turned around and said that we're just a bunch of people in an ant's nest, so I'm watching over going,
exactly.
Hey.
We'll just, we could be a kid's little experiment, who knows? But you think about it, right? When an experiment concludes, what is that going to look like for us? Because you think about it, right? If you look at religion as a guideline, and you go through the Bible, you've got the floods that happened. It made people react. It wiped a lot of people out. They started again. Everything that we've gone through big fires, earthquakes, meteorite strikes, that wiped out the dinosaurs. That might have been their first experiment, who knows? Especially being reptilian, if that's what they're saying they are, if they are the reptilians, the first experiment you always do, you would think they look like yourself, so you're going to put reptilians, dinosaurs on the planet to start off with. Had enough of that, wipe them out. The next phase is humans or Neanderthals. Neanderthals got wiped out, humans have taken over. Are we going to have our day? What's coming next? And what is the end? Like I said, I keep coming back to this. What is the end goal? Is there an end goal to it, or is it just meaningless? Let's see what we can put them through and how they react to it. Because at the moment, we've got wars going on. I mean, there's always a war going on somewhere. But with all of the interest rate rises, the cost of living going up, it's people, how they're reacting. Now, what is it they're looking to get out of it? Are they wanting to put us in a state of mind that creates a certain chemical balance in our bodies that makes us useful for the next phase? Or is it just a cruel kid that's like, cutting the heads off all of his sister's dolls and just, having a bit of fun, and then he's going to squash the ants at the end of it all?
I mean, I would prefer to think that we are not somebody's child-rated PG game. But, from Neanderthals, I mean, if we look into the evolution of humans, apparently we were in the water at some point, like a tadpole or something. Then we started traveling on land, and then we became, the evolution, the monkeys, Neanderthals, so on and so forth. So, this evolution. So, yeah, like I said earlier, it just really all depends on how you want to look. I mean, it depends on from what aspect are we talking about. Because right now, evolution is one thing. A child's game is another. But when we think of Dark Overlords, I'm thinking more like Illuminati kind of stuff, not so much as Thanos. Right?
Yeah.
So you'll be thinking like the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds.
People with money has to know at least more information than the regular.
Like you look at the Rockefellers, they founded most of their stuff at the start. I think it was around 1870 with oil. That's how they made their big gain. I think they're worth about, it was 8 billion or 86 billion? 8.4 billion is their net worth. So the Rockefellers are kind of fallen off. Whereas you look at
big time.
Where you look at the Rothschilds, their net value within their family is $20 trillion.
Yeah.
And it's been proven for them to have quietly affected global, economical, and political events.
Do you want to just throw a little something out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have brought up the Rothschilds and all those families in the past on other episodes. Do you know what happened after the last time? It was about a week or two after our last one went to air where we were talking about them.
No.
One of the Rothschilds has added me on Facebook, and I thought, it can't be the same one. But when you go into it, it goes to the actual website, and the guy is real. Whether, I thought it's probably a fake account or something like that, or it's somebody who's managing an account for him. But in one of his interviews, the same, it could be a cloned account, but it's just very interesting that suddenly we're talking about them, that we're being watched. So it's another form of monitoring now. When you talk about them, right? We're talking, when I started talking about these experiments and things like that, that's kind of like godlike things, just messing around with humanity and stuff. When we bring it down to the Rothschilds and these mega rich families, what's not to say that they aren't reptilians? I mean, you've seen that TV show V, where they make themselves look human, and the amount of influence they have over world economies. They can start wars, they can end wars, they can end famine almost if they wanted to. That's the power that they have, but they choose not to.
The Rothschilds, they were a German family. They started the banking there.
Yes.
Then they moved to England and started funding the England through the World War II and the wars previous. It's like, hang on a second. And then you look into it more with all the world wars, and it's like, well, these people were related and known to each other, and it was a big flex saying, I'm going to test weapons here, don't be there. They're like, no, we're going to go there and bigger. And it just busted out.
Mm.
And it's like, well, that's how much influence and control they have on each other. Just going, oh, we got big boy toys. Let's see what's going on. Like and it says for almost 300 years, they've affected global economic and political events.
Yeah. And you think about it, right? It all bases around wars somewhere, because wars are money spinners.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't matter if you're in the right spot. You look at economists and accounts and banks and things like that. Whether the dollar is dropping, they're making money. Whether the dollar is rising, they're making money. When people are losing houses, they're making money. When people are buying houses, they're making money. They are always making money, no matter what. Where does all this money get generated? Where does all this money go? And what is all this money actually doing? You know what I mean? Because what they're doing, they're putting it in the bank. Well, they own the banks.
See, and that's another thing. You look up and dig into the Illuminati enough, and you'll find it's a secret society. Yes, it is a secret society. It was founded in Bavaria by Adam, this is what I'm saying this wrong, but Weishaupt in the late 18th century to advocate for secularism. Is that the truth, or is that just what they're putting there for people to go, oh, that's what it is?
Well, okay, you look at the definition of a secret society, it's being secret. If you've got a secret, and it's a little experiment that I ran a little while ago, and that nothing really came of it, but when you publicize a secret society, blood and lines, all these different things, it's not a secret society anymore, because people know about it. Where the good ones are, where are these secret societies that we don't know about? The Illuminati,
I get that.
About them, but now that
I
they've
get
gone,
that,
they closed down. They really?
Just to have yes, secret society, nobody knows what goes on within them. You look at the Knights Templar and stuff like that, well, yeah, could you coin that as a secret society? Well,
no, they weren't secret.
But
what some of the stuff they were accused of, possibly, that they weren't a secret society.
So even the skull and bones and all the rest of them, they're still, nobody knows what the hell's going on in there. Nobody knows. So technically, yes, it's still a secret society, but people know the name. It's like the Coca-Cola factory. Yes, everyone knows who made Coke, but nobody knows the ingredients. Nobody knows how to make it. It's locked away.
I get that, but where I'm going is, there's going to be secret societies out there that nobody knows about.
110%.
And if nobody even knows they exist, what are they getting away with?
I would be more concerned with how big a secret society gets by how much people, by how known they are. Wouldn't you think? Because let's just
look at the Freemasons.
I was just thinking about that, because the Freemasons, I mean, their symbol is on the dollar. So it's like, what are we? I mean, even all the freaking actors and singers, all these famous people, you see them taking, like photo shoots and doing some weird, movements with their hands and stuff like this, and it's like, all of that,
and that still ties in with our last episode we did.
Yeah, pretty much. And, it is interesting to think, like we were talking about wars. Wars is all over the place. Well, but whoever wins the war actually has the powers.
See, but the only people that win the wars are the families that can fund it.
Well, yeah, the only people that win the wars are the ones that have been made to win the war. It's all orchestrated to a point. I mean, you look at what's going on at the moment, right? With the Ukraine. There's all these talks about causing the peace to stop, the war to stop. But the Ukraine have been kept out of these talks. Would you not think that the two parties that should be at the center of it is Russia and the Ukraine? It's because there are other people, Trump's saying, yeah, I'm going to go in, I'm going to sort all of this out. But as much as a lot of people aren't going to want to hear this, there are people in the background that even Trump can't touch. Maybe they're pulling the strings everywhere. It doesn't matter who's in the office of the president. It doesn't matter who's the Prime Minister of the UK or the Prime Minister of Australia. There's people in the background.
They're the puppets, and there's always a puppeteer.
And they're the ones that we're referring to.
And that comes down to the whole Art Bell segment. You've gotten told all this information. What do you do?
Yeah.
Well, you listen to what you're supposed to say.
Well, you just, I mean, if you go back to that interview with John Lear, there's so much stuff in that 10-minute interview that ties into so many of the things that we talk about on this show. It just shows how closely entwined a lot of this stuff actually is.
All of it is.
Yeah.
And just the thought that there might be something bigger than that as far as aliens, it's pretty... That's a wild conspiracy theory.
Well, there's talks at the moment about the moon. I mean, there was that experiment where they launched a bomb at the moon to see what would happen in space, and the moon rang like a bell for hours, right? No, this is legitimate. This is fact. You can look this up. And they said, why would the moon ring?
Only humans would think, let's try and blow up the moon to see what happens.
No, they weren't trying to blow it up. They would just fire a bomb at it to see how
but I'm saying, what if?
Yeah.
Because, as of right now, who's to say, that anything could spark a freaking chain reaction that would cause, even a piece of rock to fly out of it and hit us.
Yeah. But where I'm going with this, right? It rang for hours before it finally subsided, which means there was vibrations happening. That's what the ringing is. That's what a bell is. A bell is hollow in the middle, right? If you've got a solid chunk of metal, it'll go ding and stop. If the moon was solid, it would be a big thud and it would stop. But the fact it's ringing, it mean when I say hollow, I don't mean it's like one giant big ball inside that's hollow. There could be lots of caves and things like that. There could be lots going on underneath the surface, which again leads us back to what's underneath the surface. Because you look at all the different craters on the moon, no matter how big they are, how small they are, when you look at the shadows of them, the depth of them all are about the same. Now, if a big impact hits, you would think those would be deeper than the smaller ones. So is there a more solid metallic type surface underneath? Meaning, is the moon a giant spaceship and there's people there monitoring Earth? Are there doorways when we talk about dropping out of reality, like we did when we were talking about the back rooms, or when we talk about portals and things like that? Are there ways you could just suddenly, you're over there? Who knows? These are obviously.
Haven't you watched The Flash? Haven't you watched The Flash with the portal that they make?
I actually haven't.
Go through.
No, but again, parallel universes. It's one of the theories.
If there's a overlord,
or more than one,
that's stationed on the moon, wouldn't you think that this person has the control of every aspect of everything, even including multi-dimensions?
All right, so here's the thing, Fernando. Now you've said that. People go to church. Who do they pray to?
El Señor Jesus.
Okay. Who are they told to follow and listen to? Who rules the realms of heaven and earth? There's the man up
Papa
there.
El Mama.
Yeah. So there's the man up there. Who's to say that the man up there is not the overlords?
And he's living on the moon?
Who knows?
And every one of us has heard the old story of the man in the moon looking down on us.
Yeah, he eats moon cheese.
Everyone who knows me personally knows that I was raised, in a Catholic Christian household. But as I grew, I started putting some stuff, pieces together. And then, it's that I don't believe in the type of God they preach. I do believe there is a higher power, but it's not that person. So let's just say, just throwing that out there, let's say, people praise God for, for everything they have. Then they want, when something bad happens, F the D guy. I don't know if we're able to say that.
Yeah, just say it.
F the D.
El Diablo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect, man. You my boy. And, where's this person at? So if God is in the moon, where's this person at? Is he from within?
Everybody talks about God giving you everything. Why isn't it God that takes it away as well?
Yeah, because apparently, ain't God the Father of all, even
Because you
Lucifer?
can't have the good person doing the bad things. Haven't you watched movies?
Oh, but this is where
Yeah,
I'm.
but you have
No.
to be a little bit bad
100%.
to be perfectly good.
Yeah, but what's not to say God is not all one and the same. God, the devil, El Diablo, whatever you want to call them.
El
not
Fuego,
one and the
El
same.
Diablo.
I mean, I'm just saying this kid has a crazy imagination, the one that's pulling strings on us. Because if it's the same person, if you're good, then you see all the, the beautiful sunshine, sparkling, all the beautiful peaches and, the clouds, heaven on earth. But if something bad happens, he has us thinking the fiery gravestone, freaking devil horns. Like, who came up with goat feet?
All right. Let
So-
me
so-
put this at you, right? Let me put this at you, right? What you were just saying there, you're talking about all things
That's
being
control.
happy and everything nice, right? What if somebody else who thinks blacks and reds and fire and brimstone is beautiful, he's now just giving them the beautiful stuff? You know what I mean? It all
I
comes
gotcha.
down to everybody's individual interpretation and thought process.
So that's where one thing, there's an American artist, Brother Ali. One of his songs, he specifically states, and it's weird to think about it, but after you think about it, it makes a lot of sense. What if the government's God?
That would be a
Yeah.
sad thing.
What's the easiest way to control people?
Through their pockets.
Fear.
Yeah.
I grew up in a church household. I went to church for 18 years. Church causes fear. It instills fear in everybody. Now, I'm not saying fear is a good thing to have. I'm not saying it's a bad thing to have. You need that healthy fear of things. You're told if you don't live a certain way, you're going to go to hell. If you don't give money to the church, you're going to hell. If you drink or do this or that, it's control.
It is. Yeah.
And that's pushing people's brainwaves into a certain way to go, oh, we can't do this, or we can't do that. And then that's where I kind of step back and, like yourself, there is a higher power. I don't know what it is. If I'm good to someone, well, that should be good enough. But then you look at the way government controls people through TV, radio, all the forms of media. And then from a kid, you're listening to songs, watching videos and movies, and that's conditioning you to think a certain way. And then you throw the church in on top of that, or a religion on top of that, not just a church, but a religion, telling you have to live a certain way. And then the government wants to turn around and say, you're going to have nothing, and you're going to be happy with it.
Yep. Right now, with that train of thought, you were talking about control and everything like that. Do you remember a couple of weeks ago we were talking about subliminal messaging and this, that, and the other in advertising and stuff? I created a number of YouTube shorts and put them up on TikTok and everything like that. I think there was 4 or 5 I put up in total. Everyone played except for the one about subliminal messaging. I got a ban for that one. It's funny how that's the only one that got banned, because it was talking about subliminal messaging in
Because
ads.
we're not wrong.
No, we're not. And this is what I'm saying is, while we're talking about all the things that can be seen and can be experienced and we can work it out for ourselves, what about all the subliminal programming that we aren't seeing that is happening around the world as well?
Are we really thinking for ourselves, or are we being told to think like this? Are
That's
we being
it.
told to be a skeptic?
Yeah.
I mean, there is some tinfoil hat kind of stuff that we're talking about, because
It's
honestly,
not really.
I mean, because, like if you think about it like that, because, there is even music.
Frequencies?
Yeah.
Lyrics?
Even like, replaying a certain song in reverse, you hear
Which
like,
get brought up. And
even visual aspects, we could even go far to, experimenting through a video game.
There he is. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
All right. Now, let's take this to the next level, okay? And this, when you hear it, you're going to go, holy shit, right? You talk about Polybius, you talk about subliminal messaging through electronic means like TV, like radio, songs, you name it, right? Now, you break that down even further, okay? You live in a house that you won't listen to music because you're religious or for whatever reason you don't want to. I'm not partaking to anything that is subliminally affecting me, right? What do you have in your house? You have lights. You have power to run your toasters, your machines. There is an energy
Field
field
frequencies.
and full of frequencies, microwaves, you name it. We are fully surrounded by that all day, every day. If somebody has harnessed the ability, the Montauk Project, all of these kind of things, has harnessed the ability to affect us when we're not even listening to music, we're not even listening to things, just sitting in a room in total quiet and total darkness, there is still an energy field around us that can be manipulated and can be forced to affect us in certain ways.
And that's why we don't have lead-based paint.
Yeah, high levels of EMF, right? They can create a fear cage. And then going back to what Jeremy was just saying about lead in paint. That was one of my...
Let's put it on the alpha hat. There we go.
Yeah, this is one of my theories about residual hauntings. Because the heavy metals in the paint, it's like press and record on one of those old magnetic tape recorders.
Not talking about Metallica.
No. This is where I'm going.
But not even that. Like, how many people say they have tinnitus? And the ringing in the ears. How often do you're laying there in bed and you just hear that high-pitched frequency?
All the freaking time.
Have you seen the doctor about it? Have you been diagnosed, or are you just writing off going, it's tinnitus, it happens?
No, actually, within the Hispanic community, when
you have a
depending on which side of the ear it rings, it's either somebody's talking shit or somebody's talking.
Right, doesn't matter. No,
okay.
It's all good. It's only
it's either somebody's talking about you or and even with the. Have you guys ever heard of the whole palm thing? Like if there's
yes.
So who creates this to the point that I'm here and you guys over there and you guys know all of this?
I got the M.
You got the M. Esa es la señal de muerte.
Muerte.
It means el fuego el diablo.
Yeah, and apparently, like, there's a line right across here that is like your lifespan. You could read, like for somebody who knows how to read the palm, you could determine when you're gonna die and all this and that. But like, who creates this stuff?
I have a H for hermosa mamacita.
That's what she said. You dirty boy.
Gary's like, what are they saying in Spanish?
Yeah, I've got no clue, but we're gonna have to wind this up in a minute. We've gone over our time, but. What do you think about that? Fully surrounded by the possibility of control.
That's not even that. People think they're trying to break the mold. People think they're breaking the mold. Who's to say that they're not programming us to think we're breaking the mold? We're doing exactly what they want.
Exactly what they want, yeah.
Yeah.
We think we've got free will.
In a piece.
I am making a decision.
Exactly. Are they telling us that we've got the free will? Or yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows? It's just theories, hypotheticals, but yeah.
It is.
Hypotheticals. I mean, we just brought up a bunch of subliminal stuff, so, I'm pretty sure this is not going to air.
No.
Not on TikTok, anyway.
See, that's the thing that people are like, that everyone should have the freedom of speech and the right to put out what they want. And in fact, even Zuckerberg's turn around and gone, well, we really should have, the people express themselves and not fact check all this bullshit. Well, yeah, have a platform where people can say what they want. And then Elon Musk has turned around and gone, I've got that platform, but you can't go on there because it's just boobies and ass. I'm serious, man.
Yeah, for sure. I got you. Everybody could post whatever they want on there, and then,
It's like you want to go look at information and all you see is one-eyed cats.
But is it actually what they want, or is it what they've been made to put up there to make it more appealing to the weirdos of the world?
Yeah, just the big black holes.
Yeah.
No bueno.
And
anyway, on that, I think it is time for us.
I think it's the end.
Yes, I think it is the end.
We've reached the tail end of this segment.
We have. Man. So I will say, see you all later.
Sayonara.
Adios.